from Patriarch of Georgia, Ilya II. I met him before this trip just 3 days ago, and he asked me to convey his gratitude for your hospitality during his recent visit and his greetings, and he asked me to tell that he's waiting and we are all waiting for you to visit Georgia. You will be honorary guest of not only Patriarch and Patriarchy but of the state of Georgia. Very much appreciate this very good relations which exist between you and Patriarch Ilya II. Jerusalem of Patriarchy and Georgian Patriarchy, and we think this is truly an example of Christian brotherly relations which should exist between different churches. Of course, I represent today's state of Georgia, not Georgian Church, but we very much welcome development of these relations, and we believe that even from the viewpoint of state-to-state relations between churches can play a very, very important and positive for states, for people, for believers. So I wanted to say that we really very much appreciate the good relations which you have, and we very much appreciate the very warm personality which you showed many times to Georgian Church and to Georgian people. And I followed carefully one of your recent public interviews where you express your very warm relations with Georgian people and state of Georgia, for which of course we are very, very grateful and very much appreciate, and let me reciprocate immediately the same positive feelings and sentiments to Jerusalem Patriarchate in person.
Your Excellency, you are most welcome to gather with your distinguished delegation, and we are very glad to have with us here the newly arrived ambassador that we have already established a very good relationship and communication. And before that, I would like to introduce you the members here of our synod and of our brotherhood. It's a metropolitan of capital Elias, Mr. Ezekiel. He has accompanied his Beatific Elias during his pilgrimage here to the Holy Land and to Jerusalem. And there is a metropolitan of Eleftheropolis, and he's our dragman, that is to say the policeman, so to speak, of the monastery, Mr. Christodomos, and Reverend Father Porphyrios is in charge of the rubrics and the ceremonies. And here is Father Dimitrios, who is the Secretary of the Holy Synod, and Bishop Aristarchus, the Chief Secretary.
It's hard to overestimate the unique role which Jerusalem Patriarchy plays here in this holy city, holy land, in keeping the holy places, and of course it's hard to overestimate how important your role was traditionally in keeping these places, and today, as you rightly mentioned, it's not only history but it's also present and it's also future. So I fully share your vision how important your patriarchy and your activities are on this holy land. And I'm using this trip not only for political meetings but also for pilgrimage to holy places, and I've already visited, and today I will visit a number of places which belong to your patriarchy with your blessing. I'll be visiting, and those are indeed unique places for every Christian, not only Christian, you're right, for also for some of them, for Muslims, for Jews, but as Orthodox Christian, there are unique places for Orthodox Christian, and not only holy places, by the way, but we all spent yesterday all day in Knesset, and I know that you are the landlord of that place, so it's not only the holy places, but it's also some political places which we visit.
If you allow me, let me add something. Sorry to interrupt you, but Jerusalem per se in itself is a holy place. Therefore, when we talk about holy places, we don't really restrict ourselves to places that are in our church, but we are talking about all holy places, which means that by thinking like this, we mean that Jerusalem, right, has enough space, enough room to accommodate everything. Now, for us, our position over the issue of holy places that although, I mean, Jerusalem, once upon a time, it was part and parcel of our heritage, right? And nevertheless, today we have claims not over the holy site, we have claims over the holiness of a certain site. To give you an illustration, for instance, we have the Temple Mount, right, which is the core of the political dispute here, right?
Who is, for every Georgian, is an outstanding personality and poet was there. So you know how important it is for us historically, culturally, spiritually. But I absolutely agree with you, on the other hand, that all the roads to Jerusalem go through this patriarchy. So that may be very clear, because I read a number of misinterpretations by different agencies. But it may be very clear that upon discussing the possibility of possible return of Holy Cross to Georgian cultural or spiritual place, we see the only way through the agreement and consent of Your Holiness, of Your Beatitude and Jerusalem Patriarchy. And we want this to be a process which will be agreed, accepted by you, and we want any kind of solution which can be found, if any, but any kind of solution should be a solution which is approved by you, which is blessed by you. And I read different interpretations that we're talking to the state of Israel, we're talking to others. Let me be very clear and very honest on that issue, that we see that this process is a process. We deeply respect the right of ownership. This church today, Holy Cross Monastery, belongs to Jerusalem Patriarchy, and of course we deeply respect the fact. And we deeply respect what your Patriarchy did in the last 300 years for keeping this monastery and functioning of this holy place. So of course we deeply respect. And when we talk to our Israeli counterparts, it's not about their involvement in this process. We are just informing our counterparts, because Israel is the host government and this is the friendly government. So we want this government to be informed that we as state of Georgia want to start the process of consultation or agreement with your beatitude, with the Jerusalem Patriarchy, about the possible ways how we can extend Georgian presence, or how we can ensure that this church, this monastery, playing such an important role in our history, plays more important role in our present and future day as well. So all our consultations, and I had meetings with different Israeli officials these days. I met Speaker of the Knesset, Prime Minister, Minister on Religious Affairs, I met Foreign Ministry people. So I informed them at every meeting about this intention of the state of Georgia, but at every meeting I was very clear that you are the main person with whom we will raise this issue, and all the roads, as you said rightly, all the roads to Jerusalem go through your Patriarchy, and we understand and we respect it. So we just inform our friends in Israeli government about this process, because I think you agree it would be very wrong not to tell them anything. So we inform them, they are host state, they are host government, they should be informed that we may have such kind of consultations, but that's it. We do not ask them to intervene in this process, because I read a number of articles, especially by one of the news agencies, which is well known by kind of provocative interpretations of different officials, and they misinterpreted a couple of statements of our Foreign Ministry and Culture Ministry. So let me be very clear and honest with you that we don't seek anybody to be in this process, and we see that Again, we respect deeply your role in this process. We respect the fact that this monastery belongs to Patriarchy, and we respect what you did and Patriarchy did in the last 300 years to keep and preserve this monastery. So, of course, for us, the way to Holy Cross Monastery goes through Patriarchy, and let me be very, very clear and honest on this issue.
Thank you very much indeed for this clarification, because this is important, because it is true that in the recent past and the visit of Patriarch Elias, I mean all sorts of inappropriate actions took place, and as I have already explained extensively to His Excellency the Ambassador, many persons, known and unknown, eponymous and anonymous, they try to slander the Patriarchate and to cause all sorts of confusion and to distort the misunderstanding. Right? Thank you very much. So this is a matter of her, right?
Present a small gift, which is he's a modern Georgian painter, but he's acting in ancient ways. So this handmade silver frame and gold plated.
And there you see you have
yes, and of course I don't explain the scene because that's
what
what you know much better than I do.
I mean, it is Apostle Peter, but he was working on the river, in the Tiberias, lake, and he's falling, he's drowning, so he's asking for help.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Πέρα, чем микрофон? Как хопак, take a picture, yeah?
صورتي كده واحد.
No, the Archbishop Metropolitan will accompany you to the Holy Sepulchre, right? Telephone system, but now they are waiting for you there.
Thanks so much.
All right? I can give you also the address of our website, because there is a video here. That's right, yes, sir. You can visit it. Right?